So I just brought my Tesla Model 3 to service for the third time since owning it in May 2019. The first time that I brought it into service was because I heard a ticking sound that was coming from the front of the car when I was going at highway speeds. Now when I brought it in on August 13, 2019, the service advisor told me that they would need to take the car for its spin and figure out what was wrong. So he gave me a Tesla Model S loaner and told me to be on my way. Now the next day he told me that the car was fixed, so I could go and pick it up. And when I did, he told me that the car was missing a fender lining that he thinks was never installed in the car. But because this was a noise and vibration, he said it wasn't covered under Tesla warranty and made me pay $100. I didn't think that was fair, but I paid it anyway. The second time that I brought the car in was on October 22nd, 2019. And for this visit, I had two concerns. One was the battery and charging, and the second concern was that wind vibration was back. So after they installed that fender lining, I noticed that I didn't hear the ticking sound anymore. But about a month later, I started hearing it again. And I decided to just let it go because I didn't want to pay another $100 for them to figure out what was wrong. But because I noticed that there was something wrong with my battery and charging, I decided to bring it in again. This time when I brought it in, the service advisor told me that noises and vibrations are normal and she didn't even want to really bother trying and figure out what was wrong. So I kind of just let that go and I was like, okay, you know what, it's fine. And then she had a battery technician come out and talk to me about my car. And my concern was that sometimes when charging, especially when I use the scheduled departure setting, my car wouldn't get charged to the percentage that I told it to charge to. And I was like, there's something wrong with my charging. A lot of times I'll see low power grid detected, unplug and try again. But I know that the charger was working. I also said that my car only says 220 miles of range when I bought it, it said it should have been 240, and they also updated it to be 250. I know that that's something that's just the BMS, but I figured might as well ask. The battery technician basically said, no, there's nothing wrong with your car, and he told me to just live with it, basically. So that visit was about an hour, and I got nothing out of it. Now, my third and final visit is the one that I think was a good Tesla service visit based on the experience, but also they actually fixed something in my car. So on September 8th, I scheduled a visit because I noticed that I kept getting that low power grid detected and unplug and try again, when last time the technician told me that basically after a software update, it should fix everything, and it didn't. So I scheduled it for November 11th, and on November 9th, they told me that they wanted to know a little bit more about my car just to make sure that it's actually something that they can fix. So they asked me to tell them the exact date and time of the issue occurring. Now this was a little bit difficult because I had to go through all the charge logs and figure out which ones actually had issues. And when I charge at home, I don't really have charge logs. So I just went through ChargePoint and looked at every single time that I had issues there, because I always had issues charging at work when my coworkers didn't. I gave them a list of around seven issues, and the next day they told me that they couldn't do this with mobile service. They told me that I had to bring it in. So they called me and rescheduled for the week after. So now on September 18, it's the day of my service visit, and I had it scheduled for 3:30 p.m. But at 8 a.m., Tesla service called me, and my service advisor told me that they're going to have to keep my car for the weekend, and if I could get there as soon as possible, they might be able to get me a Tesla loaner. So I dropped everything I was doing and went over at 10 a.m. When I got there, I told them about all my issues, from charging to the rattling sound that I still keep on hearing in the front, and then also my 220-mile range. Once again, he basically ignored my 220-mile range question, which kind of expected at this point. And then he took down notes about my charging and the ticking sound. He also told me that Enterprise actually ran out of Tesla loaners, so I wouldn't be able to get one of those. Now on Monday, I texted my service advisor again and asked him if they had a Tesla loaner. He told me that they just got a Model X loaner back about 30 minutes ago and I could come and pick it up. So I went and picked it up, and I told him that I was going on a trip this Friday, so I would need my car ready by then. He told me he'll give me my next update on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Now on Tuesday, he did give me another update, and he said that the car wasn't ready yet, but he'll give me another update Thursday at 4 p.m. And he said, worst case scenario, I take the Model X down on my road trip. On Thursday at 1 p.m., he tells me that the car is actually fixed, and they fixed two things on it. He said first, they fixed the PCS, and that's the thing that was causing my charging to not actually charge up to 30 amps every time I needed it to. The second thing that he fixed was that he said that there was these rivets that were not installed in the car, and he installed those and said that it should fix the wind noise problem. Overall, I think this was one of my best service visits. My service advisor made sure that I knew what was going on with my car, and he also made sure to update me every other day. This is definitely one of the best service experiences I've had, and if I have to go back again, I hope that all the future experiences are just like this. Thanks for watching.